consider for sure. Full disclosure, there is so much more that we could be doing in so many different areas, in all the areas that you all are likely working in or could be more involved in, and we're not going to get into all of them for sure. But like we mentioned earlier, there have been some temporary closures and some limitations on phone access to Social Security offices, Social Security personnel. That is obviously a detriment to older adults and people with disabilities and others who have the earned benefit of Social Security, that they need to be able to contact someone to be able to change their bank account or just ensure that they're being deposited appropriately. So that is something that we have been working on and engaging with the Senate Finance Committee and the House and Ways and Means Committee to ensure that that service is restored optimally. We did mention caregivers and the caregiver tax credit. Not a done deal yet, but that is something that if it's amenable to you and to your organization, it's worth supporting. And again, as I mentioned, there are 7 states that have their own caregiver tax credits. So you have 7 examples of what states have done to evaluate and consider for your state. Another thing I want to mention is crypto ATMs. It's actually crypto kiosks, but they basically look like ATMs, and you're finding them popping up all over the country in grocery stores, gas stations, some of the typical places that you would find a regular ATM, and it's confusing, and they're basically look-alike vehicles for scams. So we've been working to either draft or pass bills that basically adopt baseline recommendations for what those should be, look like, and how folks interact with them. So daily transaction limits, state operator license requirements, scam warnings. Some states now have these big stickers or signage around or near the ATM that note that this is an issue for scams, as well as refund options for losses due to a scam. Just yesterday, the state of Maryland, adopted their own law. So there are about 17 states that we're working with now. If you are not one of those states and would like to be, you know where to find your state chapter for sure. And then lastly, I would say, obviously SNAP and Medicaid, this is something that we've been talking a lot and hearing a lot about here at this conference. We're urging our federal lawmakers to obviously safeguard funding for Medicaid and for SNAP. The proposed cuts would be, they are proposed, but they would be a major blowback for these 2 programs. It would be $1.1 trillion loss over 10 years. It would be a loss of 1 million jobs and a huge hit to local economies. So, you're also seeing USDA is requesting states to tighten up their work requirements, which the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation came out with a report about 10 days ago that provides an analysis of each state and what that would mean in terms of loss of coverage. So these are all areas that you can be involved in and advocate with your state chapter or other organizations.